One, Terry J with you. I have the awesome, incredible Ben Rector. What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. All right, so let's talk about this. Where's the last place you came from? Like, where were you on the road to?
Yep. So I had a like a day and a half in Nashville, which is my hometown, and I came here last night. Got to eat a delicious dinner. I love Atlanta, so then I'm here. I was in the Northeast last week though.
Okay, so you say Nashville is your hometown, but
Yep.
you were born where?
Oklahoma.
You were born in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the playoffs are right now. You're a basketball fan?
I'm such a basketball fan. I'll be honest with you. I think now is when like people want to try to act like super cool and knowledgeable. I played basketball growing up. I love it, but it wasn't until this season that I got into the Thunder because I went to college right before I left Oklahoma, right before we got the Thunder, and so I kind of missed it. But I'm so in because I feel like Oklahoma usually doesn't have a national thing to root for. I'm a terrible pro sports fan because we never had pro sports. So I love college football, which is like in the South is a thing.
But outside we'll talk about that next.
Right. Outside of that, everyone's just like, I don't follow pro sports that well because in Oklahoma we just didn't have them. So I'm such a fan. I was so upset with Draymond Green last night.
Oh man, did you see that kick?
That's the second time.
Oh my goodness! I think every man around the country felt that one.
Yeah, and the thing is like it's been a while since I've been like my wife is super into college football. I am too, but she's like
her.
Yeah, so she's all in. But like it's been a while since I have been that all in to where like I would get upset about sports, and I was upset last night watching the TV. I was like. I was on a group text with some of my buddies, and one of them said he didn't think the kick was intentional. I was a little heated.
I don't know, bro. His foot went like 5 feet in the air. I've never shot a basketball and kicked my foot that high in the air.
It was totally intentional.
Oh my goodness. All right, so you and your wife, do you guys have opposing teams? I hope not.
We don't. So we met at college with the University of Arkansas, and so that would be our team. I'm
going to give you a little bit of problems because I graduated from LSU, so I'm going to give you a little bit of problems.
That's fine. You guys are better than us most of the time. All I'm saying is we beat you sometimes.
There you go.
I feel like you guys are like the one shining moment in a number of our seasons. The last few years, like we're terrible. But then somehow
become great.
Right.
Right. So you've been doing your music, and people are I will say you have some newcomer fans, but you've been doing music for a while.
I have.
How long have you been doing music?
So depending on when you start counting it being professional, I think realistically I would claim maybe like 8 to 10 years.
Okay, cool.
So I started doing it like right before college professionally, and then in college toured and played a bunch of shows and stuff.
So brand new is your new album, but right now, I mean, up to date, you have this is your 6th solo album, right?
Right, and I should totally be able to say this confidently. I think that's right, and if you think that's right, I trust you. I released a couple albums in college that are no longer available. Just because maybe they're not so awesome. And so I think those are counted in there. But yes.
Those are like your baby pictures.
Right. I have released albums before this one.
You know, it's kind of like on Facebook or your social media. You always post like current pictures.
Right.
And then you look back to like that 2nd grade picture where you had maybe the rock and the mohawk and the mullet. And you're like, oh, let's just tuck that one away.
Yeah, it's a little like that. And I mean, they're not like actually bad. I don't know why I took them down. I did it years ago, and then now I'm just
throw them back up. You know, it's where you come from to where you're going.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right, so this new album,
you
have you have some new fans that are just like perking their ears up to like, who's this Ben guy?
Right.
I like him.
Right.
What can they expect from the album?
My hope is so what I appreciate in most art, whether that's like food or actual like art, I'm air painting, or like movies or music. I love when something is accessible, but also is really crafted well. And I feel like right now in music, there's kind of like that's sort of like split. You know what I mean? There's stuff that's like super hip and super like interesting and creative, but a lot of times it's not super accessible. And there's stuff that's incredibly accessible and is unbelievable at that like thing.
Right.
But some people would say maybe it's not like super creative. And I feel like pop music a long time ago was totally both. And my thing is I'm not going to claim that like empirically my album is like that, but like that's what I appreciate in art, and I would hope that maybe if someone dug into the album they'd be like, hey, like like if you want to appreciate it on the level of it being catchy, I hope it is catchy. And if you want to dig a little deeper and look at the sounds or the parts or the changes or the arrangements,
it's like a canvas for your ears.
Hopefully, but I mean it's subjective. Some people might be like, "This is awful," and I'd be like, "Well, I mean, I don't think so."
But everyone has an opinion.
Right.
Everyone has an opinion these days. But all right, so going on the basis of your album, what is, and I know this is like a taboo. It's very hard. What is your favorite song on the album?
That is tough. I think I would say there's a song called "The Men That Drive Me Places," and it's basically about cab drivers and like people. Yeah, it's about the men that drive me places. Yeah, but it's something I'm glad I get to say, and like something I feel like not a lot of people point at, and I am excited to point at it. Basically, I'm saying like these guys are brilliant and have so much to offer and do a thankless job super well for very little reward, and in some weird twist of fate, like I'm celebrated because I got dealt a hand of musical aptitude, and like I didn't do anything special for that, and these guys are brilliant, and I think nobody knows their names, and they should.
Cool, very good. All right, so you and I, we have this connection, and you don't know this
all right
yet.
all right
Here's the connection.
I'm nervous. Here's
the connection. All right.
Okay.
So April 11th,
Got it.
I turned the big 3-0.
Congratulations.
Boom. Thank you. And you turned the big 3-0 later on this year.
November 6th.
That's right. All right, so what are the plans? I'm not going to ask you because everyone asks you, are you ready for 30? What are you going to do? And I'll be honest with you, when 30 hit me, I was just like, I feel like 30 is the new 20.
Right.
So I feel like these days, all of our friends, they're traveling, they're exploring the world, they have careers.
Right.
A few of them have like full-fledged families, and when I say full-fledged, I mean like 2 babies at least.
Right.
But where are we at with you? What's the plans?
That's a great question. I really haven't thought about it too much, and I think I probably am not. I probably have acted like a 30-year-old for a long time. Like I think if you followed me around outside of music, I'm just like painfully normal outside of that, and so I'm not like, oh no, like what's this gonna be like? It's like I'll probably be like it was when I was like 25.
You're like Beige Walling it. What are you telling me?
Right. No, but I think I don't know. I'm sure I will feel old and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm 30. But I don't. I've probably acted like that for a while, so it's probably gonna be a huge change.
Good deal. All right. Well, we have. Speaking of brand new, I saw the video, the compilation video.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. And you had the hashtag. What was it? Ben in the house.
Man, I still feel bad about this. Long story short, we had a video contest. People submitted lip sync videos. Yahoo and Live Nation sponsored it, but by the time my team worked out all the legal stuff with them, there was only 4 days to announce and execute the contest. So I'm a pessimist, and I'm like, no one is going to submit a video.
Right.
And maybe there will be 2 people that do, and it'll just be like an iPhone, and then being like,
right.
So I was traveling doing promo for the album when the contest went up, and my managers kind of took the reins on running it, and we got maybe 5 submissions the first day, and I was like, that's more than I thought.
It's more than the 2 that I thought would have
totally.
iPhones.
And I was like, well, this is great. I'm glad some people did it. And the next day it was like, oh, we got 95 today. And I was like,
nice.
That's a lot. That's probably it. And so over the next few days we got hundreds and hundreds. And so the reason I feel bad about it is I thought people were just gonna do an iPhone thing, and but
they were full-fledged
so much work into these videos, and I immediately feel terrible because I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot imagine the man hours you spent on this, and you're not gonna win.
The process,
right? And so it seems most of the feedback was oh, we had such a great time doing it or whatever, but I was like, I just didn't expect that, and so when they did that, I was like, I'm so sorry you spent 4 days doing this.
No, but I thought it was awesome. My favorite part was I think the Duke guy in the video. At one point, he just stops and he starts singing a cappella. And stop.
Yeah,
we're lip syncing.
Right.
That would be me. I would be the guy singing.
Yeah, man. People were so creative and so and that video. I think that's only I didn't splice it together. A video guy did, but I think it's only maybe 7 of the videos, and we just didn't have time to sift through all of them to use them. And I wish we could have. But
yeah. Well, one, I love the video. I thought
Thanks,
it was awesome
man.
because any way like fans could connect to their artists and be a part of the
Sure.
artwork is
Sure.
amazing to
Yeah.
me. Let's talk about the tour dates.
Yep.
I know you're on tour. Tell me about that. What's going on?
Well, so we actually just wrapped up. We so we did 2 legs of what was called the brand new tour. Creative title, I know.
So
we
creative.
did some in the fall and some in the spring. We just wrapped that up, and then I've been doing some radio stuff. And then this fall, it looks like I will be going back out to do. So we played a bunch of shows. Or the 2 legs were like 50-something shows between them, and the next tour will probably just be like 20, and we'll probably just hit a handful of markets.
Sweet. All right, so gonna be wrapping it up in just a few, but I gotta ask you. I saw you on a couple. I saw you on a late night show doing a performance, and that got me thinking. I was like, there has to be like a wow moment. Like, holy crap, this is happening.
Yeah.
So tell me some of the moments that, as your career is progressing, you're like, wow, like I can't believe it.
Yeah. So I mean, I think, like I said, I tend to be pessimistic, and I think a lot of people interpret that as me like, oh, like you're not like sold on what you're doing, and it's not that. I'm super confident in what I'm doing and think it is worthwhile and good, but I'm just the last person to be like, oh yeah, like that's gonna happen or whatever's gonna happen. I feel like my job is to show up, work as hard as I can, and make as great of a thing as I can, and after that, like I don't really know what things are gonna look like. So honestly, all of this is ridiculous to me. Like there's now a whole bunch of people coming to shows, and if you had, like I remember in college, it's like, what if there were enough people in more than one city that I could go on tour? Like what if there were like 2 cities where a bunch of people wanted to see me? And so everything that happens, I mean, like I said, to a fault, I'm like, this is probably going to go away tomorrow. Everything that happens, I'm just like so glad people are so engaged with it. And there's not like one moment that's just like, yeah, this, and then I felt like I had some national shows for this record and then did a little bit for the record before, and all of that stuff, any of that stuff that feels like a milestone is always super cool. But I think also just in the normal everyday, like just that people are like, yeah, like I'm gonna make plans and buy a ticket and like drive my car to this place and pay to park it and wait around for 3 hours to see you sing songs. Like that's ridiculous to me.
All right, brother man. So my last thing, for those who are getting to know you and want to find out more about you, drop those socials for you. Where can they find you? Where can they listen to you? All that good stuff.
Got it. I would say if you want to just make it easy on yourself, go to google.com and type in Ben Rector. But if you want to get specific, my Twitter handle is Ben Rector. My Instagram handle is Ben_Rector. There's a photographer in Britain that beat me to that.
Oh,
Thanks
man.
a lot, dude.
You should spend some money, but yo.
I know. That I would honestly.
I'd throw you some money. Just
if
let me
you're
have
listening, let me have the name. And then you can listen to me on iTunes or Spotify or whatever you want to do.
All right, thank you.
Thanks,
thank
man.
you for so much for stopping by the Power 96.1 studio. Ben Rector, thank you,
for
brother,
having
man. Awesome.
Yeah, this is called Men That Drive Places. It's about cab drivers. This is a song on piano, so if I make mistakes, just go ahead and let those go.
edit it.
Yeah, thank you. You guys got auto-tune for my hands, right? Okay. Howard drives a minivan to the cruise ships from Fort Lauderdale, and it's been that way since 1994. Does his business on a flip phone with the most obnoxious ringtones. I didn't ask, but I could tell he's from New York. He spoke proudly of his daughter, and that this fall she'd be in college, and that he always wished he got his degree. You could tell he came from nothing, built a future out of hustling, and somehow I'm the one you people pay to see. Oh, isn't that just the way it goes? You dealt a good hand, and you get celebrated. Oh, how am I the only one who knows I'm half the man of the men that drive me places?
Danny showed up early, 15 minutes till 5:30, making sure that I'd be on my morning flight. He said he'd love to fix computers, but that he can't until he's fluent. So he spends his driving money taking class at night. He wore a neatly ironed dress shirt, and he helps his kids with homework. And deep inside I couldn't help but ask myself why that night I'm up on stage, everybody knows my name, while Danny's early picking up somebody else. Oh, isn't that just the way it goes? You dealt a good hand and you get celebrated. Oh, how am I the only one who knows I'm half a man of the men that drive places? And now everything's not given. I work hard to make a living, but I'll give credit where I think the credit's due. Maybe you got dealt a good hand, maybe you play it the best that you can, but I don't know how far I'd walk without those cards in Howard or Danny's working shoes.